What's going on, ladies and gentlemen?
And welcome to NGN, the home of games. So, today we're going to be reviewing Evolve. So, what is Evolve? Evolve is a traditional team based multiplayer shooter game. It combines the impressive CryEngine powered visuals, and it's made by Turtle Rock. And yeah, it's a it was a definitely a very hyped up game, and we're going to tell you if it lives up to these expectations. So, James, tell me
Yeah.
the positives of this
Okay.
game.
Right, okay. So, I've been following this game since its announcement. I think it was last year, and as you've already stated, it gained a lot of hype because it's a new IP, so it's a new game. No one's actually heard of this before. So, just to break it down, it's a 4v1 multiplayer and single player game. So, what are you thinking? 4v1? Has that ever been done before? No, and that is what makes this game special. So, to get into it, um, it is, as I said, a 4v1. So there's four hunters and one monster. You have four different hunters with different classes and different abilities that will all help you in hunting the monster down in this game. And on the other side, on the monster side, you are a monster who starts off the game very weak, and you have to progress yourself by eating wildlife throughout the map and throughout the game to gain energy and power to strengthen up your monster, buff him up, and give him a chance of beating the four monsters who seek you and trying to kill you throughout the game.
Yeah, so as you said, that was like a basically that is what Evolve is about. In terms of the actual graphics and the actual the fact that it's not it's kind of like an open world kind of thing, but it's restricted open world. So it's got from what I've heard, the shooting on the game is really good. It plays like a game should play. It plays smoothly. The graphics are, some games aren't actually optimized that well for next gen, but this is definitely optimized
Yeah,
for the
for sure.
PS4, 100%. Um, but the fact that it plays with the multiplayer as well, which is definitely like in this current generation, multiplayer is absolutely massive, especially with shooters, first person shooters. We've seen Battlefield Hardline that brought out multiplayer, and the way they've done it, and obviously Call of Duty, the massive franchise that brought out multiplayer. And I think Evolve tried to take their fair share of this. Um, but some things that I've heard about this game and something that I feel myself is the fact that in this game, when you play the game, the actual gameplay is very constricted. It's in a very confined space, and the problem with that you might find the action in the actual game becomes quite chaotic and it gets quite frustrating. And I found that the maps, all of the 16 maps that they had made, were all very bland. They had no difference in change. That I didn't find anything that really, you know, told me, "Wow, I like this more than the other one." They all kind of the same,
Yeah.
and I just didn't find it.
I,
I didn't find that very good enough. I just found it quite repetitive at
yeah,
times.
I guess. But sort yeah, sort of dwelling on the fact that these maps are very big, and adding to the statement you said about frustration, and that can add to it when you're chasing a monster around a map for almost. I think I've spent 10 minutes before chasing a monster and not actually getting any action. It can be quite boring, but
Yeah.
trust me, when you get into the actual combat, and when you have all four hunters using their abilities to take this monster down, or on the flip side, the monster using his abilities to wipe out the four hunters who are trying to erase him from his habitat, it's a very exhilarating experience and is definitely unique and makes the game as special as it is. So I'm going to read you a quick quote from the creators of the game, and hopefully that should give you a brief rundown of what this game is about. From Turtle Rock Studios, creators of Left 4 Dead, comes Evolve, the next generation of multiplayer shooters. Four hunters face off against a single player-controlled monster in a adrenaline-pumping 4v1 match. Play as the monster to use savage abilities and animalistic sense to kill your human enemies, or choose one of 4 hunter classes: Assault, Trapper, Medic, and Support, and team up to take down the beast on the planet Shear, where flora and fauna act as an adversary to man and monster alike. Level up to unlock new hunter or monster characters, as well as upgrades, skins, and perks. Earn your infamy on the leaderboards and become the apex predator.
That is, well, from what that sounds, it. I guess they've kind of brought the essence of the game into it, but I don't think they've done it very well.
Yeah.
I think the fact that how they explain it isn't really what it seems to be. I think there might be a little bit of confusion, or maybe we just haven't got that farther into the game. Maybe it's just the fact that they played it. You know, everyone has a different aspect on games. But yeah, when I first saw that, I think that really hyped up the game.
Yeah,
more-
definitely.
Quite a lot, and I found it. To be honest, I find writing this review quite difficult on Evolve, just because the reason there's not very much for or against this game. It's just kind of, it's just either like you love it or hate it.
Yeah.
One of those games.
And
And
it doesn't really help with the DLC that went with
Yeah.
it, which created most of the haters on this game. As you said, you either love it or you hate it, and that is what it is at the moment. There's like 50% love for the game and 50% haters, and these haters are coming from the DLC, and we'll talk about the DLC in a sec. But yeah, continue what you were saying.
yeah, so I think it's the fact that like this game is just so, it's so open in terms of opinions. You know, you have to like this sort of kind of game to really enjoy it. I couldn't see myself playing this game for the rest of the year. I could see me playing it for about maybe a month or two and then just
Yeah.
getting bored of it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a game, you know, such as like Grand Theft Auto or
Yeah, because
Dying Light.
I've given it a fair go, and I can see where people with that view are coming from, because every single match, once you've played against every single monster in, as you've said previously, in more or less the same environment map every time, it can get a bit repetitive, and
Yeah.
repetition is something gamers hate. Gamers
Yes.
hate repetition. They want something new. This is why Evolve got hype, because it's new. 4 versus 1, where's that come from? That has never been
Exactly.
done before.
Yeah.
And you know, with like a monster that you have to yourself improve during the game, you
Yeah.
know, that's new as well, and it all adds up to this new concept. And
Yeah,
as
definitely.
I've stated, it's the next generation of multiplayer shooters. It definitely is, but they just need to fix certain areas, and yeah, I think now we can roll into the DLC. So
Yeah.
when
No,
the-
one thing I was
yeah.
actually going to say that I found was quite strange about this game compared to a lot of others is that it actually had no storyline. There was literally no core line that really brought the game together, and I found
Yeah.
that was different, but it was something where
it was
it
there
only appealed
there
to some
was-
people.
Yeah, there was like a small storyline like that just runs by, but
Yeah,
as you said,
but
there's-
it's not core.
Yeah, it's not a core storyline to the game, which, you know, a lot of gamers like. They like stories. They like being.
Yeah.
They like having control of the story, which is why
Yeah.
why games like Telltale games get so good reviews, because you control how it actually ends up. You know,
Exactly.
you control the fate of the characters in the game.
So you can't really complain because it's what you want.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, moving into the DLC. So the game retailed at £40, which is about like $50-$60 upon pre-order, and there was 4 different pre-order levels. So you had the standard, you had the one which came with a monster expansion pack. There was one which was called the Digital Deluxe, which came with a season pass, and there was a Monster Race one which gave you like an extended season pass. And what people hated about this was that they, upon release, there was £60 worth of DLC available, which made people wonder, why isn't this £60 worth of DLC actually in the game? Why do we have to spend £60 on skins and characters when, you know, it should already be there? I mean, as we've already said, the game is limited. there's not much you can do, and it's about repetition. Why isn't this in the game? Why do we have to pay
Yeah.
more money? And it just got people really angry, and the fact that there's only if you didn't pre-order the game, there would only be 3 monsters. You'd play one for like a couple of days, you'd play this other for a couple of days, and you'd play the third for a couple of days. Then you wouldn't want to play it anymore. So
Exactly.
that forces you to pay more money, which people nowadays are becoming less. They don't want to pay money into a game which they've already spent a large amount on.
Exactly.
This is where this hate is coming from. I can see where it's coming from.
See, the
And,
thing is, what I find really confusing is the fact that I don't know if they've purposely done it or they've done it because they've given the game out and they've realized, oh wait, it's so easy to like finish with go threes and get bored,
yeah,
and so they decided, oh, well, let's just release some new stuff because our game is
yeah.
lacking,
Or
and they
they've
haven't
just-
actually said anything
yeah.
about it.
Or they've taken the opportunity and seen, wait, this is a good business model. We have three monsters currently in the game, and throughout the game's lifespan, we will feed you monsters. So here you go, spend £10 on this one monster. You'll play that for 4 days, and it won't be worth it. We'll get money, and I think it's just business plan. I mean, people have been saying all this business plan's horrendous, but from a business perspective, DLC is where big companies like EA Sports and 2K with Evolve and Call of Duty, Activision, make their money now. It's about DLC, giving you like something small and then saying, all right, you want more? Well, you have to pay more money for it, and that is where gaming is heading, and it's disappointing, but we can't change it. We love the games and we pay for it. That's the end of that. No one can change this.
Definitely, I think, as much of we'd like to say about this game, we really just can't, because the game is just, you love it or hate it, and we have to be fair
Yeah.
with we talk about it.
So
And yeah,
should we
that's it.
give a overall overview, like a
Out of
brief-
10, how about in 3, 2, 1, we give a score out of 10 at the same time.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, 7.
Hacks.
There you go.
I mean,
7.
I'd give 7 because I love the concept of the game. It's 4 versus 1 is just such an appealing concept to me, where you have to, buff up your monster, evolve, and then fight off humans who are chasing you down throughout the map. It's a very tense game, and I would love that in gaming. But I think it's the blandness and the repetition that sort of lets it down for me. But yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, it's more the fact that I don't like the repetition, and that I don't like the fact that it has no storyline. That kind of annoys me, that they haven't really focused the storyline on the main part of the character, which is
Yeah.
quite disappointing.
And the last point, would we recommend you buy it? Yes and no. If you can pay between £10 to £20, £25 for the game, then definitely pick it up. But other than that, I wouldn't spend big money on it with like DLC and stuff, because it's not a
Yeah.
game that you'll be playing for months on end, like Call of Duty or Battlefield Hardline that's coming out soon. It's a game you'll probably pick up, play for a week, and then put down again. So
Yeah.
at
An
the end
on
of-
and off game.
yeah, at the end of the day, it's your choice, but this is our take on the game. Do not take anything we've said serious, or like this is definite. This is just our opinion, and this is our review. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Obviously, we're just here to state our opinion, but I guess that's it. Thank you for watching our first review.
Yeah, there's more to come. More to come throughout the year.
Yeah,
As if
definitely.
you've seen the 2015 rundown video, you definitely see that there's plenty of games for us to review that are coming out through the year. So stay tuned for that.
And yeah, thank you. Yeah, I guess we'll see you in the next video. Subscribe if you haven't. Check out our Twitter, and
We'll see you next time. Peace.